You ever went through life like that? You don't give the attack. But if an attack comes, you have to make an excuse. Anybody ever experienced that? I just go through it. I just go through it. I went through it a few times. Long time. I went through it recently. It's always an attack is presented and you make an excuse. This is what people see it. They see it as an excuse. They don't see it as an explanation. They see it as an excuse. What is Joel Osteen's excuse for not doing something? Understand what I'm saying? And this is how we see things to be, but it's not always the way that we see it. And we'll come to even more, as I said. So he had to now explain these things. And I think he didn't even explain it. He had this fella to probably explain it. Because you know why he had the fella explaining it? Not because he $14 million richer, no. Because he was out there giving out things and making sure everything was coordinated. But they want him to give an excuse. They want him to save the people. They want him to maybe build showers. I don't know. Next thing you know, they will have to do that. Eh? Next thing you know, the church will have to build that shower for people and for the kitchen. Now, don't get me wrong. If it have a need, and God give them that, that knowledge to do it, go ahead, no problem. But I just say he kind of had to know, make an excuse and make sure that it's in order so that he don't get judged next time around. Anybody like to be in a position like that? Anybody? It's a hard position to be in because you're always making excuse. And that's what people see, excuse. You're not really making an excuse, you're trying to explain yourself. But you end up making an excuse. And it's a hard position to be in. It's hard. But anyways, we're going on. We're going on. In other words, it seemed that the designated shelter was better equipped to handle flood victims who were hungry. You have to understand the situation. These people that eat for maybe 2-3 days. They don't have clean water. So they may be hungry. You go put them in the nice church. If they have no kitchen and no food, you'll put them in there, and now you have to transport from the shelter 5 miles away to bring the food across to the church. Tell me, not making any sense. This is people who, they were stuck in their homes for 3 days. Does that make any sense? It have two sides to every story. It have two sides to every story. Let's say, oh, Pastor, you defending Joel Osteen. Well, yes, I defended him here. Because I see something, while I had a disagreement with something specific, it was downright hard to see what they was doing to him on Facebook and on Twitter. Millions of posts, man. This is not two people telling you you're ugly, and you go about your business and you say, boy, I vex with these 2 people. This is a million and more people talking about these things. And a million, imagine when a million other people see that post, how much it become? 2 million? And then 2 million see another, is 4, 8, 16, 32, 64 million. And we even reach billions yet, but you understand how far and how far this thing's stretching. Alright? And so they could have prepared that food and so forth. They had the devices to take care. You can't just prepare food just so you had a microwave or whatever. Stoves are talking about, because there's thousands of people we're talking about. We're not talking about 1 or 2. So it was better equipped to handle the flood victims who might have walked through muddy waters. Think about it, that people, muddy land, and arrive at the footsteps of the shelter. Don't you think they would want to bathe and get rid of mud? Anybody like to play mud in this morning? The children might like it. I know the children might raise their hands, right? But I don't like mud at all. I don't like when they touch my skin. They don't touch your skin, and you try to wipe it off and you realize when you wipe it off it's smudged more. This is the mud that I'm talking about. And so imagine, I'm not saying that the church wouldn't allow people to come in. We will allow people, but imagine. Well, God forbid if Joel Osteen Church have carpet and they walk in. They walk in with that kind of mud. That is not little mud water. I mean, we're talking about mud. Mud sticks up in the carpet, and even that I can still bypass. But the point is, you don't know what he was thinking. Maybe he was thinking they would destroy what the church members have paid so much to have. He probably was thinking like that. We don't know, but the point is, people saw it and said not having love. And sometimes choosing one for the other you end up in the same boat. It's a hard price. It's a price that all these televangelists have to live with. Some will like them and some will not like them. Some will talk them, some will not. But anyways, moving on. So while Lakewood was not equipped with these vital facilities to offer primary relief of its victims, I said why? They didn't have the best facilities for these people. But Pastor, that is all. This is why you're defending Joel Osteen today, my brothers and sisters. That is not all. Don't fall asleep on that. And this is why I use this story as an example today. And that is why I quoted from Hosea, that we can be destroyed due to our lack of knowledge and wisdom. Consider the situation we face in Trinidad and Tobago today. Are we usually prepared for a hurricane, my brothers and sisters? Anybody? And so we say, Lord, I want a generator. Bless me with a generator now. Because of our lost electricity. For them few days, I say, but electricity, you need electricity to power it, you water pump to power all these different things. It's like I'm not getting, I wouldn't be able to get what I need without this little generator. Generator cheap though, I have a generator for like $900 or something. I keep watching it in price, but I say, you know, I'm going to buy it next time. I'm going to buy it next time and never get around to it. But the point is, are we prepared in Trinidad for if a hurricane were to arise? Countless times we hear about bad weather coming our way, yes?
Yeah.
In fact, a few storms and hurricanes barely missed us, right?
Yes.
Tell my line, you know. No other line, right? But usually, most, if not all of us, prepare when there is a warning. Yeah?
Yeah.
Sometimes it flooded in the Facebook page. Well, I just be on Facebook. I'm a tech person, so I have Facebook and so forth. So I will see these warnings and so forth. And I say, nah, that ain't gonna hit me. Nah, that ain't gonna hit me. But when I see some weather start to hit me, I say, wait, I have to prepare. I have to prepare for this thing. Next thing you know, something happened. Not so anybody like that? Just me last minute. Alright. And usually, most if not all of us, we prepare when there is a warning. And usually this warning, it comes late in Trinidad. It's come late. And do you think that Joel Osteen today, my brothers and sisters, is a superhuman? Is he a superhuman? Is he Superman? All you know Superman, right?
Yeah.
Flying all over, have all this nice arm. I used to be a fan of Superman long time. And he have this special thing, he could shoot out 3 eyes. And he could burn people, well not people, but burn, whatever it is that was happening. I just remember how he was cool. I always remember, I always wonder, why when they shoot him, right, the clothes don't burst? If he's strong, I can understand that, but why the clothes don't ever burst? You ever wonder that? Think about it. But anyways, the point is Joel Osteen Superman? Is he Batman? Is he like that? No, he's not like that. And this is a fictional character found in a comic book with superpowers. I wish I had superpowers like that. But of course not. Everyone had to prepare for that hurricane. He had to prepare for that hurricane. He might have had to help his family prepare for that hurricane. Anybody go help their family prepare for hurricane this morning? Talk to me. All you just prepare for the hurricane, right?
Yeah.
Right? And then all you look at all the family and say, wait, we leaving them in the cold? No, we can't do that. How are we going to do that? We as Christian people, we have to do better, right? Right. So we have to do that. So he would have had some challenges as well to us, as the Superman people, expected him to be. He would have had some business he had to take care of on the side. Now, would that have been a good enough excuse for him to come and say, oh, well, I'm going to take care of my family? Or would people have just come to him and say, but you don't love everybody else? Think about it. He was in a position, and then we would have to make that excuse. Because we would see him as an excuse, we would see it as an excuse. We say, oh, but he's $40 million richer. So that means he have to open the church. He didn't have any troubles of his own. Understand what I'm saying? There is 2 sides to every story this morning. And it is a challenge for all of us. And of course, the leaders of the church might have to take care of their families. Think about it. He might have wanted to deploy all these people and so forth. But they were already, trying to take care. They had to wall up their windows or tape it up. They tape it up. They had to make sure they get food. I hear they were selling a bottle of water for $99 US. I said, Lord have mercy. I said, $600 for a gallon of water. I said, yeah. it has two sides to every story that we see. Alright? And so the people who would eventually volunteer to help would have also prepared for the famine. Did anybody think about that? They post on Facebook, they know what love is. They know what love is. That Joel didn't show love to his people. But did they show love to Joel Osteen? I asked you that question this morning. Did they show love to Joel Osteen that way? No. Two sides to every story. Not to mention to make sure all the resources were in play. You see, you'll say, why am I explaining all this? I'm explaining all this because of what we may expect. What we may expect. Let me say that, God forbid, a hurricane were to come. And this might be our shelter. But Pastor Richard decided he's not going to open. Maybe he have more going on. Understand? He have more going on somewhere. Or maybe some other challenge he is facing as well too. There's other things that is going on. And of course, yeah, you could bring someone here, but we have no food. We have no food to give. So a good suggestion Brother Lynette made about starting maybe food pantry. We could really start to do that. In place of something like this happening, at least we'll have food even for ourselves, and we could also give to other people as well too. Alright? So I'll be thinking about that, about bringing that back as well too. And everyone at that point before the hurricane would have been busy making some level of preparation. My brothers and sisters, if you would kindly repeat after me, there is at least two sides to every story. If you disagree, you don't have to wait to finish it. They would have been indisposed of. This is why I believe it was a lack of wisdom that resulted in the condemnation of Joel Osteen and his ministry. I hope I could probably share this with people at the recording. And these, of course, some of these are our own Christian people who claim that he did not have love in his heart for them. These are the same Christian people condemning his actions and not seeing their lack thereof of something. But we're quick to condemn them. My brothers and sisters, there is two sides to every story. If we can expect that from our fellow brothers and sisters, what can we expect? Can we expect anything more from outside in the world? What do we expect from outside in the world? Same kind of thing. Worse. Pressure. And this is why I say he primarily received unfair collateral damage. He received collateral damage for the people underneath him. He received for the church underneath him. When I say the church underneath, as in they focused on him. For his family, which he probably was preparing for. For all the other things that were happening, he received collateral damage for all of that. But I also mentioned that I received collateral damage recently when my electricity went out. A young lady had the expectation that I should have sacrificed, of course, my comfort, because she was not aware that I already did sacrifice my comfort. And not just my comfort, but my family's comfort. So she expected me to wait an entire week before I could get back electricity. How is that fair if we talk about being fair? And something that wasn't even related to the storm. It just popped and that happened, and I had to wait very long. And in 2 minutes, boop, it came back on. Because of a fuse that was blown. And so I received a certain amount of collateral damage because I said, well, that's so unfair. Because she knows as a pastor, she expects me to have patience for entirety. Anybody here have patience for entirety? I don't know if all they have children, but I just see some parents with their children. And they have patience, but you see they close their eyes so and they kind of... And then after about maybe a half an hour, boy, behave yourself! Everybody has that limited patience. It is a limit. There is a limit to everything. So, I say today, brothers and sisters, I remind you, there is two sides to every story. But wait, there is more. I nearly finished. There is more. We need to know about the story, so that when people come to say something bad about the church, the leaders, the pastor, you might be able to educate them properly if they select to be educated and not live out of that wisdom. These people build their expectations out of a certain level of not having wisdom and condemn the church, which had little to do with the situation they were facing. In order to access Lakewood Church, one would have had to traverse the flooded roads. Did they consider that? They have to. Lakewood Church is on a hill. Anybody know? It's on a hill. But it's still, we'll come to that. But to get to there would be flooded. Alright? So they would have to access the flooded roads and so forth to reach the facility. Did anyone think about the volunteers' lives to traverse these roads? These people who love people and were willing to come out. Do anybody consider the volunteers' lives, that they may be risking their lives to come out? No. Open a church. And when you don't open the church, they vex with it. See what I'm saying? Different things going on here. Joel Osteen might have been looking at things on a different aspect. Sometimes you have to look at things on a different aspect. He look at it and he say, but wait, okay, 1 million people want the church to be open. But is that important enough to sacrifice 10 of these people's lives, put their lives at risk, that they could die? Is that my choice that I should be making? I would think twice. I would say, Lord, show me. I say, Lord, I'm not too sure what I can do here. Will I sacrifice 10 people dying for, not even 1 million people, but we call about 1,000 or 2,000, 2,000 to take care of? We're not talking about the 16,000 people that it could hold, but to take care of people. But, of course, people didn't think about that. They thought about whom? Themselves. My brothers and sisters, we need to start to think otherwise. Not so? Brothers and sisters, I'm trying to be very careful. But there's another word for what we call that. We call that selfishness. And all of us, you see how I spin my hand at me too? We have a certain amount of selfishness. We will never get rid of 100% of our selfishness. We are there programmed to try and keep ourselves alive, for example. That's why we eat. That's why we do nice things. That's why we enjoy watching a little movie. Because we want to relax ourselves and we want to take out somebody else too. Yeah? Sometimes that happens, but it's not about ourselves. Right? And of course, these were the same people talking about love, but not realizing they are still not loving through understanding and reasoning. You know what I keep going? Sister Abigail, you're too close to me. And it's normally not complain. Not complain. But I can't focus and people can start to say, but wait, is Abigail talking to? No, I'm talking to everybody here. Amen. Understanding, reasoning, explaining, speaking. These are the things that we need to start to do. So my brothers and sisters, those who agree could say, those who disagree could say, if you would repeat after me kindly, there are two sides to every story. Amen. Joel and his volunteers would have been risking a part of their lives to be there. I am certain I would think twice about risking my life in such a situation like that as well too. I say, Pastor, I don't want to tell about you. Sure, I would have opened the church, but after careful planning and preparation, which I think Joel eventually did. He eventually got the time. He got whatever he had to get in order, the resources. When I saw the photos, I saw photos of a pile of things. Some pampers and clothes and real plenty things. If you see things people were donating and things that church, I believe, was also buying. Because when I saw that, I said, nah, they couldn't get all that stuff there so fast. How did I get it so fast? Who they would have go to and say they are official shelter? They weren't an official shelter, so they would have a supply according to what Christian people would have given, maybe non-Christians as well too, and what the church could have provided at that point in time. But it would always be as if he made an excuse. Yes? It will always be so. And so I saw this. When people want to question the love Joel has for his fellow Christians and his non-Christians through this point. In 2001, from his past experience, nearly finished, the Compact Center, that is the Lakewood Church, was flooded badly due to Tropical Storm Allison. Anybody knew about that? Nobody knew about that. Notice it was a tropical storm, not even a hurricane. Yeah. So do you think that Joel did not consider this as a reason as well? That maybe if the church was to flood, that would cause some trouble for the people who came there for shelter. It would defeat the purpose of shelter. And it is actually said that portions of the facility was indeed flooded, and they were waiting to see whether it was practical to open the church as a shelter. My brothers and sisters, there is at least two sides to every story. It pains me to the core when I see people build expectations that do not include at least a basic level of knowledge of situations, because it results in inaccurate judgments, even destruction of the church. The church looks bad. It actually destroys how the church is supposed to look. The name of the church, the reputation of good people, the reputation of all the leaders, the reputation of you, the congregation, when somebody talks bad about something. And then we end up in a spot, him included, where we have to make excuses, when it's not really an excuse that we're making. So, this is something I have seen too. As Christian people, do we expect our pastors to be poor? No? Alright. Well, I'll tell you something. I see people who expect pastors to be poor. And when they get a little rich, they vex. You know what the first thing they say? Pastor, take the money from the church. Well, you never experience that? No, you look like confused, Sister Abby. You never see that? I have plenty of people I've met, taxi and otherwise. And you know what the first thing they say? You know why the pastor so? He taking money from the church. Oh gosh, people, let me get real here. While we have a good mentality maybe about the church giving the pastor a salary, that is not how everybody is saying it, you know. He said, but he rich because the church giving him money. That is what he said. You know, that is one out of many reasons I don't take a salary for being the pastor of this church. One out of many, there are other reasons. Because I don't want people to associate that I have been taking a salary from the church. Because you know what, they do it in a bad way. They make it sound like he only using the church, or he only doing something. He don't really love the implication, understand the implication. They don't have to say it, you know, the implication of how far people might go. Is that he just doing it for the money. Understand what I'm saying? This is what is going on. This is what is going on. They expect him, of course, to sacrifice. There is sacrifice, yes, in being a Christian. In general, not just the pastor alone. In general. They expect his children to be neglected. You know why I have to say that? You had to get vexed. This is my only personal one, if you get vexed about something here. When my father was alive, my father barely spent any time with me. There were times, like I said this before, where I would ask my father to go fishing with me. I couldn't even fish, but I just wanted to spend some time with my father. You know where my father used to be? I can't say it anymore from there. Think about where my father was and why he was not with me as a son. You think about it today. Because it's something